We will begin the webinar in 4 minutes.
You will be the moderator, right, Diana?
Yeah, I will be the moderator.
My background is so messy. How can I change? Let me try.
Are you guys ready?
Yes, yes.
How have you guys been doing?
Still good.
It's nice to hear.
Later, you will introduce about the QK.
Yeah.
Is it one more people from Malaysia?
No, the speaker from Malaysia will not be joining. Yeah. She has
Oh, I see.
All right. I think we can proceed. All right. How about we begin this webinar by introducing yourself first. Yeah.
Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Trúc. I'm an alumni of Auckland University of Technology in New Zealand, and I currently residing in Malaysia.
Thank you, Truk. How about Lee?
Good evening, everyone from Vietnam. So I think 1 hour ahead from Malaysia. So my name is Lee. I'm the master student in Turkey now. Through back, I was working for Facebook project in Malaysia for 4 years. Back then, 10 years in banking industry in Vietnam. So looking forward to share with you my journey. Thank you, Diana, for your invitation.
I'm looking forward to hear the sharing session from both of you too. So right now, I think without further ado, we can begin the sharing session. How about we start this sharing session by both of you tell a little bit about your experiences, a brief experiences in New Zealand or Turkey. Yeah. Maybe we can start with Lee first.
All right, so how many minutes I will have in this sharing, Diana?
Like around 3 minutes. I will ask question later, but like you can provide like brief, a brief statement about your experience. So around 3 minutes to 5 minutes. Yeah.
All right. So my university in Turkey is Istanbul Tikares University. So my university is like something like non-profit university. It's not belong to the it's belong to the Istanbul Commercial Council, but it's not the government university. And I'm doing the degree in new digital economy and marketing, a non-thesis for 1 year. So I just finished the first semester And now this is my second semester. So basically my program focus on the economies, new technologies, digital, and marketing. I study about strategic marketing management, marketing research. Yeah, so this semester would be very heavy for me because I totally focus on that. Yeah, so later on through the conversation with Dayana, I will share step by step with you guys. So hope to give you the full picture how the student look like in the pro. Yeah, back to you, Dayana.
Thank you so much, Lee. I'm really excited to hear more later. How about True? Like, can you provide us like just a brief introduction about your experiences studying in New Zealand?
My experience about New Zealand is very amazing, and then I think the decision to choose New Zealand as a country to travel to study abroad is really a great choice because like New Zealand is like you also can see on the internet how beautiful the country, and then it's very peaceful. Some people may not really like it because it's a little bit slow and quiet. However, it will give you a very good time after the study hour because you have a time, you have a place to chill or to relax. And then my university is the Auckland University of Technology. Not because of the name, it's not only focused to the technology, but it's also focused on the business fields, and it's have currently the we call it a AUT. It's a short name AUT. So AUT now also expand, and then they have many. They have 3 campus around Auckland City, and New Zealand is very amazing. And when you study in the New Zealand, you also can because we are Asian, so we come to the Western country. We are like so wow about how they living over there, about the culture. So if you really go to study abroad, just like every single minute, you also need to save and spend the time with the local to experience about the culture. And New Zealand not only about a Western country, it's also have a small ethnic. They call the name is Maori. They have a very rich culture over there. It's so amazing. So I can share more later about like how wonderful the trip over there. Thanks. Back to Diana.
Yeah, thank you, True. Okay, I think we can start the sharing session right now with the first question to Lee. So Lee, since you have like studied in Turkey, where you have taken your master, how will you describe your daily life or daily routine as a master student there? You are muted.
Sorry, can you say again the question, Dayana?
Since you have taken your master in Turkey, so how will you describe your daily life as a student at there?
Yeah, so very nice question. Everyone, if they're curious how the student life look like during the COVID-19 situation, right? So I would say it's really, first it's shocking for me. Believe it or not, I'm really excited when coming back to the academic life. But however, due to the COVID-19 situation, I need to take all the class online. Do you believe? I took online and only one class for last semester is offline. So it's one sort of forcing. But because of the COVID-19 situation, right, we need to pay on that barrier. But somehow they have the advantage. I have a lot of time to travel the city, and I get lost a lot, many times in Istanbul. So if you guys have a chance to visit Istanbul, you will have a chance to get lost there, the big city. However, so it's sometimes I can say to you, it's like the rolling coaster emotion for me. Excited, when you discover that the university, they offer the online class, wow, oh my God, I want to meet the new classmate, I want to meet the teacher, the professor somehow. But through the way, I need to adapt with that. And now with the second semester, for me, it's really wonderful. Why? Because I'm in my hometown, but I still can attend the class. So to me, there are two sides. But to be honest with you guys, that at the beginning, when everything is new, shocking, and you are not preparing for everything, so it's not exciting at all. And the other thing is like you are new, right? Turkey is one of the country they are not like speak English all the time. So on the street they are really friendly and helpful, but somehow they could not speak English like Malaysia. So I need to face that. So a little bit about that. So, but totally like I'm not like Trúc said, right? The journey of studying abroad never ever regret. Is it correct, Trúc?
Yes, of course.
Yes, to me, this is only second semester. But I would say that this is amazing. I would regret if I did not make decision to study there. So, a quick overview for you guys.
So do you know a bit about Turkish right now? Like the language? Do you know a bit? Like because you need to communicate with the locals.
So, yeah, just let you guys know that I'm the person, like adventure person. So to me, when I'm going to the new country, it's good opportunity for me to discover the new country. What I do is like I did not Google, I did not search any information about Turkey. So I would let myself to explore by my own experience rather than to take the feedback from the other, right? The review from the other. So that's why I get lost, you know. Actually, for the language, right? Lucky that I have the local friends, so they have a lot. But somehow Turkish language is difficult to me. So, but I can use body language. So on the street, I can survive. And the public transportation, even though they are on in Turkish, but it's easy for you to find the way, to find the like, yeah, and it's so convenient on that. So it's not a big problem. The people, I would say the key point is the people. Turkish people, they are super friendly. If you are on the street, you get lost, you can use Google Translate to communicate with them. Lucky in our daily life right now, we have Google Translate. So, but I planning to study Turkish on this day. I study by myself online because they have the free they have the organization to teach you to offer the free class, Turkish class.
So that's quite lucky because we have the Google Translate. So sure, just show our point to them. So that's quite easy. So don't need like to prepare, like to know Turkish language before studying in Turkey, right? So but since you also have working in
I think there's an internet. Right? Can you hear her?
Yeah. I also worry it's my internet problem, but Diana, internet problem.
Let's wait for her.
you guys hear me?
Yes, we can still hear you, but we cannot see you.
How about now?
We cannot out now. Now we can see
Okay.
you.
Still better.
Okay, since you have working in Malaysia before, so you quite know the environment in Malaysia. So what do you think the difference between living in Turkey and living in Malaysia?
All right. So the first thing I would say, language. In Malaysia, I can communicate English everywhere. I would say almost everywhere, but in Turkish it's not that. So the percentage of the person who speak English is less than Malaysia on that. On the other hand, they have because their country is they would like to attract the tourists a lot. So we can meet a lot of foreigners. So when I compare Malaysia and Turkey, right? They have a lot of tourists there. So I think in Istanbul is a very good city amazing city for people to visit them. For the difference, the food, it's a little bit difficult for me to find Asian food to compare Malaysia, especially Vietnamese food. Nowadays, it's super easy to find Thai food, Vietnamese food, Korean or Japanese food. But in Turkey, they have, but it's not that much like in Malaysia. And how can I compare the weather? I would say the weather in Malaysia is like similar to Vietnam. We have sunny season and rainy season. But in Turkey, they have 4 seasons: summer, spring, autumn, and winter. On these days, still winter. They have the snow there. So to me, it's quite challenging during the winter time. But luckily, I flew back to Vietnam during the winter. I escaped from there. Yeah, that's all. And I would say as the foreigner, right, we need to do a lot for the paperwork. I would say paperwork, like student permit card or visa or whatever, right? But I would say everywhere the government office who offer that service is the same. Sometimes it's slow, sometimes it's complicated because we are the foreigner. They have the different process. So guys, if you are the student to study abroad, bear in mind that maybe in your own country it's different, but in foreign country they treat us as a foreigner. So there are many differences with your home country on that. Yeah, that's very much I can compare.
I totally can relate about the weather. I cannot stand the winter. Like I cannot stand cold. So I will definitely, like, if I go abroad, I will come back to Malaysia for the
But you
weather.
can see snow.
Yeah. Okay. Since you said previously that the application process is quite different for foreigners, what are the different, like what were the things that are different as compared to usual application process?
All right. So as you can imagine, like basically for the international student, right? We need to have the health insurance. We need to have the student permit, right? We have to, and we need to have the rental contract, something like that, right? So, but the most difficult thing is the student permit. Some university, they will help you from A to Z, the process. They will submit to the government office on behalf of you. But somehow my university, I need to do by myself everything. I need to prepare the document. If there's some rejection from the government office, I need to handle. So I would say, like, for the government office, right, when you visit them at the first time, they say, oh, this is the application, you can do like this one, A, B, C, D. But when you come back, they say, oh, you are lacking 1 or 2 documents, and then you need. So it's like back and forth, something like that. But I would say, like, Malaysia and Turkey, they are trying their best to apply the digital government. For example, like some service they can offer you through the app, something like that. Like we have the application for the vaccine certificate, right? Something similar like that. So Turkey, I can accept the app so that I can see my information there, even to visit the hospital or something like that. But be mindful, there's some challenging. I remind you guys again.
What are the apps that you installed through?
In Turkey, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can imagine, like, Turkey government, they try their best to apply for their citizen all everything in one app. They call it like e-debit. So for example, in that app, you have your identity number, you know, your health insurance, even you can download the academic recording there. Like you studied there 4 years ago, if you would like to bring your study result there, they can offer you. So everything in one. You have the residential address, your home address, right? So you can access that and to check. Yeah, you pay the tax, so you can check everything. So they are on the way to improve that system for foreigner, so that you can see. Now, for example, I need to apply for the health insurance. I need to visit the office for health. I need to register my address. I need to visit another office, somehow like that. But for their citizen, everything they can register online already. Yeah. So, and for banking system now, you just visit the bank to open the bank account, and then you can use the internet banking.
I think
So
that's
kind of
quite cool.
system.
Yeah, that's quite help us to help make things more easier as compared to like having all the documents physically. Right, thank you, Lee. Right now, I will ask questions to Drew. How about you? What are your thoughts on your experiences studying in New Zealand before? Like, what was your happiest memory as well as challenging things that you have experienced as a student?
As an Asian student, the very first time travel to Western country, the first challenge is a culture shock, because as not regardless how good you are in English, but New Zealand, they speak everything. You have an advantage to every way also communicate in English. The main language is English. However, the accent or the way they talk or the way they use the language is so hard to catch what they are talking about. Even when you join the university, you need to have a IELTS certificate. If you study the bachelor, the lower band is a 6, and then even you get 6 pen for the IELTS. However, you also really hard to catch what they are talking about, because they are talking so fast, and because of accent, so you very hard to catch what they are talking about. And then in the very first week, I remember when I go there during the winter as well. It's so cold. Just only the moment when you step out from the airport to the outside. Oh my God! It's like the weather is so cold, so windy, and like it's very shocking. However, New Zealand, because of peaceful and it's beautiful, so that's why the people they also very helpful. And during the time I come to New Zealand through the twinning program between my university in Vietnam, and also it's a connection between the Vietnam university and the New Zealand. So we have support from both sides. That's why throughout the application form, the process is very easy to go through. It's so nice. Uh, it's helpful so much because of the have been, because a lot of document you need to prepare, and then if you don't have a very clear guidance from the university or the supporter, it will be very hard for you. But luckily during that time it's very perfect, and then the process is very fast, because of you already know where do you want to go, what university you want to study, and then what course you choose to study. So it's the process very smooth.
Thank you, Drew. So a follow-up question. How did you decide on the university and course that you want to study in New Zealand?
During that time, I studied international business at Auckland University of Technology, and based on during that time, I come with a batch of students from my university to New Zealand. So we have people who study finance, who study marketing, who study the human resource management. So I study international business. The reason why I choose international business, because international business is kind of like the even you don't study in detail. For example, if you study marketing, you study like detail in the marketing, like for example, digital marketing, traditional marketing, everything related to the marketing. However, for the international business, you will study in general every single information. You also will study marketing, finance, human management, but in general information. And you also have a chance to exchange the culture, exchange the knowledge between, because if you study international business, you also need to understand about the culture of the other business in another country. So it's very excited for me when I study, when I choose that major.
I see. Business sounds so amazing, and especially like being able to study in abroad, it's like it helps you to learn much more when you're studying international business. And okay, what are the things that you wish you have known before you studying abroad? And then I will ask the questions in the chat box. Yeah. What are the things that you wish you had known before you studying abroad?
Before, the thing I wish I would know before I traveled to New Zealand during that time, I should spend more time to understand about the culture over there, or I should listen more about, like practice more about the how to listen to the accent from New Zealand, because when I just arrived, sometimes some course you will have a like a very short period of time before the semester start for you to adapt to the culture. But my one is like 1 week after that. So when I just arrived, so I need to like next day will be the orientation days already, and then next week will be directly to the class, and then it's very hard for you to catch in the very beginning one, and then it's one class just because of New Zealand. They very good in the way that in the first semester you study in a very small classroom. It's just only like 3 to 4 table, and each table just only maximum 5 students only. So that's why you need to interact with another local student or another international students. So it's very short during that time, because of when we think about the university, we will think about the big hall, the big the lecture classroom, and everyone can do whatever you want, and then the lecture just like sharing. However, for the first semester in New Zealand, you need to study in a small group and do a lot of assignment. So if I can like well prepare a bit, or like ask more experience, or like do more research before I enter New Zealand, so it will be like much better and more smooth in the first semester. Because like when you just step into the new Western country, and then you get a culture shock, you get the weather shock, and then you also get the accent. You cannot listen and you cannot communicate. Even it doesn't mean you cannot hear them, they also cannot hear you. Even you have a 6 or 7 pen in IELTS, but the accent is very difficult to catch what you want to say. And then, oh my gosh, the first semester is quite nightmare to me. But after that, when I like adjust and adapt, it will be better. Yeah.
I totally get that, because during my first semester, I don't really talk to people. So it's especially online, right? So it's quite challenging also. And I wish I have talked more. So have you made even though like you didn't talk to local that much before, have you made any friends from there that were the local in New Zealand?
Yeah, sure. I have a New Zealand friend, and also the international student from another country. Also a group of friends. We call New Zealand at another name is Kiwi. You know, Kiwi is the fruit and also the bird, the national bird, Kiwi. So we call them is a Kiwi. So I also have a Kiwi friend, and I also a little bit request, because during that time when I come, and then we come at the batch of Vietnamese students to study in New Zealand. So that's why we all the time will be gathered together. And then because of we just gather among Vietnamese, definitely we travel some way to explore about how beautiful the New Zealand. However, we lack of the chance to explore how the local living. Luckily, in the very last 3 semesters over there, I also like get my friend with the New Zealand, and then I also like visit their house. Also, they bring to the do the fishing. So that's why I have a little bit experience with the local Kiwi, how they live over there. But yes, it's also good for you to have a group of Vietnamese or like same nation, same nationality student to help each other in the very beginning. However, you also need to really find time to explore and connect with the Kiwi friend is very good and also international because you can exchange just imagine you just only stay there for 2 to 3 years. So how can you use a time effectively? So it depends on you. Yeah.
Most of the time, like when we go abroad, we tend to stick to our close friend or people from the same nationality. So it's best if like we have the chance that there is we don't usually get the chance to study abroad. So it's best that if we try to connect with everyone. Okay, now I will proceed to Lee. Since you're currently studying master, what are your advices or tips to make a successful application in Turkey? Like what are the grades that you need to achieve, or like the documents that you need to prepare, and which agency did you approach?
All right. So I understand Diana question is like from the very beginning step, right? How you apply and how you success during the during like academic time there, right? Is it correct? Is it including the how to apply to the university successfully? All right. So to me, it's very interesting. Like I explore, like I make a list on Excel all the university for they offer the international student. So I make a list there, and I filter how many program that they offer in English, because I cannot study in Turkish, and I don't want to study Turkish first and study enroll the program in Turkish. So that's why what I do is from the big picture, you will understand how many university they have, and how many degree that they offer in English. Yeah. So and each of the degree they have, of course, in their university website, they will give you the list of the requirement. You need to read it. So in Turkey, I would say it's really easy. As a Malaysian, you should be very confident to applying that, because to me, when they easy, because they would like because it depends on the government as well. The government policy, they would like to attract as much as more international is possible. So that's why I would say, but of course, in some top university, it's really difficult. For example, you need to prepare for GMAT. They don't use IELTS, they use TOEFL, so you need to be prepared on that. And the application for master program, bear in mind that you need the reference. Normally, they will need you 2 reference from your working experience or even your previous university if you have not worked before. And the personal statement. So I would say most of the university in Turkey, that is the quite similar process. So first of all, your personal statement, to reference GMAT or TOEFL, it depends on the university. So if you are really serious to study abroad in whatever country, you can visit the university website and check specific requirement from there. But what I share is, I would say, is very common. I believe in US or Canada, even New Zealand, they have quite similar process on that. So be prepared, especially for the English certificate, right? So for IELTS, is really must. It saves your time. It saves your time because when you apply and you submit the application, but you don't have the English certificate, it takes time, right? That's all. And since you and for my university, I don't need to have the TOEFL certificate. I just register for the English test in my university. It's quite simple. And when you got admitted from the university, they will offer you the student-oriented program. Like they will offer you, oh, this is the alumni group and how it look like. There is the health check. This is the club for the sport club or whatever, so that you can join that. For the specific academic, how can be successful? I learned from my own experience for first semester. So I would say with you guys, don't follow me or don't repeat like me, because I failed on that because I didn't prepare well. But I'm really proud to say with you that I have been go through and I gained my own experience on that. First of all, on the university, they will give you the course, right? They have the compulsory course, they have the elective course. You need to check carefully with your advisor to understand for your degree how many courses they need in order to graduate, right? So they may change. For example, for this semester, this course will be open, but they don't have the plan to open for the second. So you would be very smart on that. And on the other hand, furthermore, for Turkey, I have the chance to join the Erasmus program. As you know, that Erasmus program is joining between the all the university in Europe. They signed the contract that they allow the student to exchange another one. So if you have the idea that you would join that program, for example, if I study in Istanbul and one semester I study in German, so I need to be prepared, like the GPA, the requirement of GPA. So far I updated is required like 2.5, and even they some degree they need you to finish this course, blah blah blah. So for that, if you have idea, get in touch with the advisor of that program immediately. So for my point is, be well prepared is the first point. So not like me, just don't. Yes, and during my studying time, luckily that the first course I studied with the professor who is also the director of the program. So it's really helpful for us to understand, because they offer the program first time in English, digital economy and marketing is quite, they have in Turkish, but they don't have in English yet. So for us, this is the first year. So of course they need to improve a lot. So when, but the first thing, like the professor is super busy. So each of the professor, they are super busy. So we need to very smart to set the expectation with them, to ask the question like how you can communicate with them by email, WhatsApp, by phone, and their available schedule in the school. For example, if you have some question you want to, because we study online all the time, right? But the professor still allow us to meet them if we have any question, any plan. So be ahead on that, well prepared that. Because for me, the most important thing is some of international students, right, we're scaring of the professor because somehow we don't understand their language, their local English, because we are not get you, like Tuk said, right, we are not get you with their native accent. So somehow, even they speak English, but so taking time to listen more. For example, you study in New Zealand or Turkish, listen their English with Turkish accent or New Zealand accent. So it's a very rarely helpful when you communicate with the professor. That's my point. So keep the relationship with in the very special professional manner with the professor is very important. So we respect their time, they respect the student time, but somehow we need to be smart. How? Because if you stop there and you don't know how to reach out, and people they don't they always communicate with you in their native language, how can you survive, right? So set the expectation on that. Yeah. And the other thing is to collaborate with the other student, because for the master program we always have the presentation in the group as a midterm assignment or even for the final exam. So how you work as a teamwork, master student, they always busy for working. That's true. So how you lead how you collaborate, you either you are a leader or you are a member, but how you can make it more, because you do your job very well, but the other student in your group, they don't well. How? So be mindful about the teamwork. Teamwork is very important. Otherwise, if you fail the midterm assignment, it's a great big job for you for the final exam, something like that. Because some university they accumulate your result from the midterm and to the final. So overall, to me, the application, check the website. If you have any question, check with the admission team with that university by email, WhatsApp, or chat or whatever, until you understand correctly. I say again, until you understand correctly. Because based on your guess, they write in English, but you guess, but it's maybe you get wrong. That is the first thing for the application. And since you arrive the country, right, be immediately contact with the international office, because that department will have to support the international office, right? Get in touch with them even before you fly to that country. Get in touch with them for the visa for the visa process, for the document you need to bring from the home country to that country. For example, they need your degree, the degree of the bachelor. So if you don't have that document somehow, right? And to be successful in the academic life, you need to very like proactive contact, communicate with the professor and the other student. And not only you, international student. I have the friends from Morocco, from German, because Erasmus program, right? They join from the other university within Europe. So I have a chance to communicate. So leverage that chance to communicate and to make a friends. I still remember my professor saying, academic life, just improve your network. So during the master degree, why not, right? Take it. So that's all from me.
I thought that as a degree student just experience the problem with groupmate. I don't know that master student also experienced it. And a follow-up question, how long did it take for you to prepare for studying abroad? Like all the requirements, how long did it take? Is it like only 1 year or less than a year or more than that?
You mean
And
that the preparation time for me?
yes, and did you apply for scholarship or how did you find yourself? Yeah.
All right. So for my case situation, lucky that I have the local friends, right? So he helped me a lot in order to find the information for the, because some university they only have the Turkish. So how can I find the information, something like that? Even I don't understand. So for me, on the process, it takes less than 1 year. Yeah. So because you need to check, because normally the university they will open for like some master the program, they open in fall semester or spring semester only, specific for Turkey. They don't open for summer semester. So you need to be careful about that. Each university they have the different time for the admission for the master program. Yeah.
How about a scholarship application if you have applied any? or did you like work for a couple of years and then just save some money to travel abroad?
To be honest, I applied for a scholarship for my university, but I failed. But through the application of the scholarship, I have again for my own experience. Again, for you guys, when I sharing here, that I share on what I have, just not about the theory. So be mindful that it may be different from the other, but this is my own experience like that. So throughout the application for the scholarship, I understand that Turkey, they have the government scholarship, and I just checked some sharing from Facebook. They are still open until the end of February this month. So if you have the plan to Turkey to visit to study there, let's check. So of course the government scholarship, they have own requirement. So I would say, like, you just answer for yourself why you deserve to have this scholarship to compare with the other. Why I need to choose you? Think about that. And when you are afraid of, okay, when I apply, Diana, you can ask me, oh Lee, I don't have the experience yet for working experience, right? How can I apply the scholarship? I just graduated from the bachelor and I want to apply the master. So to me, it's not a big deal, because from my personal experience, like, if you have experience for the volunteer project, it can be considered as the working experience, because it's a real, you are doing something real. It's not like that. Or even you join any club. For example, I'm the Toastmaster member, right? So I'm joining that club and I do some leadership role there. So it can be counted as a working experience. So utilize that point in your application. And the last question is, how? What is the value of that scholarship and how you can contribute to the other? Oh, after I apply for this scholarship, I can get the higher salary. No, it's not enough yet. You need to think as the person who evaluate your application. Why this candidate is deserve to get this? So you just think 3 questions. The first one, who are you? Right? And why you choose this? What is the matching between you and that scholarship? The second thing, what's your experience? Everything from your experience. Of course, it's still matching with the scholarship requirement and their expectation, something like that. And the last is how you still like you're staying there and you can contribute back to your home countries or your home or your own communities, something like that. So let's say if I have a chance to apply another school, who knows, right? I may apply the scholarship in the future. So that's on I always bear in mind for that 3 questions. I need to prepare and keep updating, because I know in the future, next few months, I will apply the scholarship. Today, I will prepare and update day by day. So at that time in my application, I have full. Yes, that's very much for me.
Yeah.
Trúc, you want to add on? I think the scholarship is something that everyone they're looking forward to hear.
I think Truk has answered a little bit in the chat.
For the New Zealand, as far as I know, now they have 3 different kind of scholarship. First one from the government, but this one is rare and very limited. And limited about how many applicants and the time to apply as well. And then it's just only available to some country which New Zealand partner with, and it's hard and uncertain to get. And second one is about the excellent academic one. So if you are a very outstanding GPA, outstanding performance from your school, you also can apply. But definitely, when you're outstanding, like how outstanding, how much outstanding you are, you're also very competitive. And at the moment in New Zealand, they also have a promotion scholarship. It really depends on which university and which course. For example, they offer the COVID relief for the COVID relief scholarship. However, at the moment, New Zealand is also not open the border yet, so like also very hard to get in at the moment. Yeah. Because New Zealand they tend to get the zero COVID country, so they still close the border. You can travel out from New Zealand out to another country, but able to travel back or not is not guaranteed. Even you are citizenship. Yeah, a lot of people stuck outside New Zealand.
All right, thank you, Truk. I think last question. What is your advice for students who wish to study in New Zealand?
Based on my experience, I just want to let you like I just only have very just only one tip for you. You just try because you are student. You just only have one thing to do is study, and second one is explore. Explore as much as you can because when you come back already, you so really refresh why you don't spend time over there to explore how beautiful the country. The more you travel in the New Zealand, the more you can see they have many different culture and in the different city as well. During that time, I want and New Zealand is have a lot of if you like the the true activity like a bungee jump or skydiving, must try in New Zealand because New Zealand is like it's a safest country for those kind of activity. And during that time, oh my gosh, I'm so refreshed because of when I want to try it during the winter. And during the winter, it's so cold and it's so hard to try those type of things and also dangerous as well. But if you have time, for example, you just only study there for like 2 to 3 years. Maybe some people they will come back to visit their family during summer break, during school break. However, for myself, I straight away stay in New Zealand for 3 years. In summer semester, I take a little bit of time to study during summer semester, and the rest of the time I will do the part-time job. I will do the internship. I also travel to Australia from New Zealand to Australia, just only 3 hour flight. Why not, right? New Zealand and Australia is really near, and you also can travel around the country and enjoy how beautiful the countries are. So amazing. And you also know that the New Zealand also have another ethnic called Maori. They have very rich culture. And the very first time you know when they have a tradition of the rugby team in New Zealand before the match we will sing the national song. So but they do the haka dance like very strong, and then like, you know the feeling, the emotion is there. And I have a chance to experience right in my graduation. Oh my god, so amazing. And just study as much as you can, focus during the semester, focus to get the good score over there, because New Zealand they will teach you, they not really teach you much in the classroom. They just share the experience only. The more you research, the more you will learn. During the time I also like some paper I really like it, so I spend a lot of time to research, to communicate with the student and also the lecturer. Same as what Lee said, we have a connection with professional and lecturer as well. And you also can get a connection from the people who already study that paper. You also can ask for the experience. And after that, during the break, the school break, travel as much as you can. And if you're able to find a part-time job, it's also very amazing for you to save money and travel around the country.
All right, thank you so much, Truk. I believe that many people there will really appreciate the advice that you have given to them right now. All right, since I know that you need to leave soon, right, Truk, like at 9:30.
I still can stay a bit more to 9:30.
Can I give you a follow-up question? How did you apply for internship when you're studying abroad?
The internship
Yeah.
during that time, because I'm studying international business, so the requirement of the international business facility is the student need to do the internship overseas, because you study international, you need to explore about another business in another country. So the internship must do out of New Zealand. So during that time, I will definitely prepare the resume, prepare the academy record, and also write the cover letter. About like what I want, and definitely need to apply to the relevant field. Because for example, you study international business, you cannot apply to the finance, or you cannot apply to the audit firm. It will be very unrelevant. So definitely the internship will fail, and you try to apply in the relevant field. And if you have a good relationship with the professor or lecturer, you also can get the reference letter from them. During the time I study in New Zealand, in one summer semester, it's not the time for me to do an internship yet. However, I'm lucky because of one of the social media in New Zealand. They want to expand the business, so they need few internship to do research. So because during that time I stay in New Zealand throughout the summer break, so I applied to do the internship. So after that, I also have a reference letter from the line manager. It's a good point for you to tell to the company you want to internship with, like what is experience you already have, because they not only focus on the academic record, because it's just on the paper. They also will focus how experienced you are. And I also do the part-time job. I also do some in volunteer like a Red Cross or the Oxfam, or I also do the mentor for the student. For example, you study in the second semester, you can be the mentor for the freshman in the first semester. For example, you try to do a lot of extraordinary activity outside, and it will be the very good experience for you when you apply the internship. And definitely for the internship over there, I applied in Australia and also in Vietnam. The reason I applied in Vietnam, because after 3 years, throughout 3 years, I didn't come back to Vietnam. So I also want to, like, maybe it's a time for me to come back. So I also applied to Vietnam, and also like definitely they will have an interview. And you also can see like the difference between the local student and international student. My line manager also feedback to me, because when we study in the Western country, the education system is very developed. So that's why they also provide you a very good chance before you do the internship. They open for you. If you have any question about resume, about cover letter, about interview questions, you also can ask them, and then they also will provide the document, the information for you. And it's like, yeah, we also can see how we perform in front of the camera, talking to, like, do the Sky interview with them, and how fluent we are speak in English, and how professional we are speaking in English. Not so fluent, definitely, because you are graduated, and then you are first time interview, but at least you also will have some outstanding point of it.
I see. Thank you so much for your sharing. And I found that really useful myself, because who knows, right, in future. All right. How about because the time is running out and we need to end the sharing session at 9:50. Can Lee provide any last advice or share or tips to fellow students out there who want to apply to Turkey?
So I think took over very much like I share about the scholarship, right? The idea that how you can apply the scholarship. So the internship, something similar. Why they need to choose you among 1,000 students there? So and the second thing is your experience. Trúc mentioned that, okay, an academic record is just on the paper. How you can prove the employer that, okay, this kind of activity you have done during your study is matching with with this job, with this position. Even the soft skill. For example, you haven't worked for any company, but in front of the alumni club or student club or whatever, you are confident, you are a leader of that. So be useful on that. For example, for my semester, I always volunteer for the class representative. When the professor asks, oh, I need one representative from the class so that I can communicate to the class. So what I can do, I'm the middle person between the professor and student. So I believe with that position, you can improve a lot in communication as well as the teamwork skill. So just a small thing, but you can put it into your internship resume. That's all. And for the internship, it's a little bit different from when you apply for the scholarship. That so how you can contribute to that company. So you need to think, because they don't need just pay you that much of salary and you just sit there and do nothing. Just think of that. Make, if you can do a next step, put you at the position of the employer, what you expect for this position. So luckily that for your mind, when you change the role player for your mind, you will be very creative and proactive to think what you need to do, how you can prepare for the internship. So even for my working experience, I did a lot of interview, right? So it's the same. I'm looking for the candidate. So think on that. And internship is the very, very, very helpful opportunity for you to adapt with the real workplace before you can apply the job. Yeah. So if you have time, let's do the internship. Like I would suggest. Short 3 months is enough, something like that.
All right, thank you, Lee and True. I think we can move on to the Q&A session. And I think that True has answered a bit about in the chat box for the tuition fees. I think we can also ask about like in Turkey as well. Like, can you mention more like specifically about what did you apply to be able to study in Turkey? Yeah.
So for me, how to apply the master? So I just check on the university there, and I choose what's one that. For example, I want to study in marketing, right? So I will make a list to filter. So how many universities are offering the marketing program for master program? How many of them offer in English? And I will check the university. And of course, some of the review, the feedback from the even in linking, you can find the alumni there. You can have a quick chat with them. Oh, how is your studying life there? Something like that. So I would suggest. So to me, like I a little bit different. Like I choose Turkey for the specific reason. Like I have the local friend there. So what I can do is like I care about the university can offer the Erasmus program. First of all, they need to offer in English. Secondly, they can offer the Erasmus program. So I just apply and I follow the their requirement. So I would say Turkey is simple. And when took commenting on the cost in New Zealand, so to compare to Turkey, super cheaper. So you may consider, especially for Malaysian, for those who are Muslim, so you can see that you can enrich the culture there because a lot of Muslim in Turkey, so you can explore. Because I see a lot of Indonesian students. They even some Indonesian, they are working there because they find it's something like similar culture for them.
I see.
Let me answer the question for New Zealand part-time job through the here, because of people from online they cannot see the answer. Okay, so for the part-time job in New Zealand, as of now, the student who on the full fee pay-in student visa allowed to work part-time during the semester and working at full time during school break or holiday. And there is a slightly difference for students who under 18 years old or who do the PhD or do the master research. You also can find more information on NIZ's website. It will give you more more information over there. And the most expensive thing, the highest expense in New Zealand is about the accommodation rent. They don't charge you by month, but they charge you by week, and then it's around 300 something a week. It's very expensive for the apartment with one master bedroom and one small room. And the master bedroom, you just only able to live for 2 people, and the small room just only 1 people. So, and then you need to rent the accommodation through the agent. If they find out you stay like more than 3 people in the same apartment, they will charge you penalty. It's very strictly about those kind of things. And then for the normal distance, it's around 50 to 20 New Zealand dollar. It's quite expensive as well. However, it's a good news I get updated is after 1st of April this year, the minimum wage is 21.20 New Zealand dollar per hour. So if you can get the part-time job, you share the accommodations, share the room with the others, and then you cook at home, not shopping online, not spend money outside. So yeah, pretty much you can cover with 20 hours of part-time job over there. Yeah, very, quite expensive about the accommodation.
I see. Thank you for answering. May I know if you still have time, or do you need to go?
Oh, okay.
Class?
I gotta leave.
Oh, okay. Thank you so
So
much.
any question do you want to ask?
I think just last question, like what just your final word before you leave this meeting.
Oh, my final word. Okay, so if you really have a chance to study in New Zealand, it's a very good opportunity. Leverage it and use and spend the time. Also, it's for the very forward. They normally say the work hard and play hard. You study hard, you play hard together at the same time, and need to spend time and understand the culture in New Zealand and get my friend with the local Kiwi, and travel throughout the country. Also, they have for some university for the freshman student, they will offer some free trip, like just only half day or 1 day trip around the city. Even you are in the 3rd semester, you are like last year student, you also can try to find some free course around. It's pretty much you can travel around the city and understand how beautiful the country. So that's when you go to New Zealand, you can prove that how they say New Zealand is 100% pure. New Zealand is 100% pure, you know. And it is also the place they film lots of the dream and the Hobbit. Yeah, try to visit those one. I miss it. I miss it. I so regret to miss it, but very wonderful and amazing. Leverage your time over there and have a good study.
I wish I could go to New Zealand one day because
Yeah, sure.
it's
Please,
amazing.
because the Malaysian is very it have an advantage of Malaysian passport because you don't need to get a visa for 90 days. So just travel.
Right.
Okay,
Will
thank you,
do, will do.
Diana and QK Language Center to have a very wonderful section for me and Lee to sharing the experience with the future student. And no worry, I still have a contact in New Zealand. So if you really need help, but don't hesitate to contact me.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Bro.
thank you. I
Hope
gotta leave
to
breakfast. Bye,
hope
Lee.
to talk
Bye,
to you
Diana.
again. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Trúc. Such a wonderful sharing. I want to visit New Zealand as well. Who knows,
Yeah,
right?
sure, one day.
Yes, yes.
Okay, bye.
Bye. All right. Okay. I also want to add one thing. If anyone out there who wants to study abroad and are looking for some agency that can help with your IELTS application or visa, you can just approach UK Language Center because we offer classes to help you to go through the IELTS, as well as we making sure that you will have a successful application to your to your dream countries. All right. So I think it's only left is now, Lee. I will ask all of the questions to you. Okay. There was one people that asked, how easy are study abroad courses? How easy did you learn your master? Or is it, or the more appropriate question is how hard is the courses that you have taken?
So my answer for this question is, if you think it's easy, it will be easy. If you think it's hard, it's really hard. Believe me, like that. So if I believe for those who are watching this live sharing, I believe in your mind, you have the dream to live abroad. And study abroad is the great opportunity to compare if you're looking for a job, right? So think it easy first. Say to yourself, okay, this is easy. And because I want this experience in my life. I want to live abroad in my life. So when you think it's easy, when you handle for the other stuff, it will be easy. For example, why I say so, if you are keen to study abroad, you may find 1,000 ways to make it easy. For example, you are watching this live sharing. You get motivation, you have even one idea or one information that is may related or may you are looking for, right? Looking for the community, like the study abroad. So you may find it's really helpful for you on that. So don't make it complicated. Make it think it as easy. And for me, do it like Took share doing the research. It's really much because the more you have the information, the easier you make decision. So today you are listen to two countries, right? New Zealand and Turkey. You have the idea how the study academic life look like in that two countries, how the living cost compare with that two countries. So you have two information. Tomorrow you talk with another friend about another country. So all information you have, it's easy for you to make decision. Why you don't do it by yourself? No one, even you have QK Language Center to help you. Of course, they can help you on that. So when you are curious with each country, you just seek help for any resource. So to me, it's easy. So be proactive, do more research, and when you need the help, I think every resource they will help you. So overall, if you think easy, it will be easy. As long as you have the dream in your mind.
I totally agree. It's because most of the time, our mindset that determine our reality. Like if we think that something is easy, we're gonna make sure that it will become easy for us instead of like trying to prove that it's hard. So our mind is trying to prove that it's easy. So despite it can be quite scary to study abroad, but if you just believe in yourself and trust the process along the way, it will become an easy journey for you. Right. A follow-up question. Do you think that studying abroad will slow some people down to graduate? Like, for instance, they decided to have a transfer program in Turkey, but right now they are studying a degree in Malaysia. Do you believe that by studying in Turkey, they will graduate much more later um, than all of their peers?
So I understand your question. Like if they study in Malaysia for 4 years, right? But they decided to transfer to Turkey for 2 years, right? And the student may afraid that they cannot study graduate on time. Is it correct? So my answer is, to be honest, like because when you when you transfer to study to another country, because for example when you decided to study in Turkey at the beginning, it's simple, right? You know the program, you know the process, so you know how long that you need. For example, for the master program, they for me non-thesis they need 2 semester and maximum is 3 semester to graduate. For the thesis, like they have 3 semester and they allow you to graduate at maximum is 4 semester. So all the information they have in the university website. For those who decided to transfer, for example, you study in 2 years in Malaysia and 2 years in Turkey. The transition time is very, very important. So you need to be mindful. That's, for example, you need to study all the hard course in Malaysia. So you choose less course in Turkey time. I would say it's a smart choice because it gives you more time to adapt with the culture, with the new environment, with the new professor, new process, new people, new student, right? So to me, that you need to, of course, you need to check the process for both the program that you need and their requirement, and do as much as more in the Malaysian and give more time. Because the reason why you choose to study abroad is to not only for study, but also to explore the new culture. So you still like that, okay, you study in Malaysia already, you have more time to explore. Yes, that's my question. It's possible. I believe if you think possible, it's will be possible. But the possible here is you have the information on your hand. You check from your own university in Malaysia how the process look like, how they link to the university in Turkey, and how the process, something like that. So when you have own information in your hand, make decision. Like that.
I really agree that sometimes things happen because we didn't make enough research on it, and so that's why we were shocked when we find out that we need to extend the semester when it can be prevented just by doing a simple research on the internet, or just like quickly have a call with the admission board about these questions.
Yes.
So before making big decisions like transferring to studying abroad, we need to do quite in-depth research beforehand, as well as making sure that you really are prepared to study abroad during this current time. And I think because our time is running out, our last question is it easy to have scholarship in Turkey? I know that you have mentioned a bit, but do you think that is it easier for foreigner to apply for scholarship in Turkey, or can we just apply in our hometown? For instance, in Vietnam, have the Vietnam government provided a scholarship for people that want to study in Turkey, or we need to directly apply for a scholarship in Turkey instead.
Like Tuk mentioned, right? I just mentioned about the government scholarship, but you bear in mind that there are many scholarship. You need to do the research on that, because when we say scholarship, it's just general, but you need to very specific on which scholarship. Do they have the government scholarship? Yes, Turkey they have. They have university. They have their own scholarship. For example, they can offer 100%. They can offer 50%. They can offer 20%. Right? So do the research on that. And even some, for example, in Turkey, in some, I'm really sorry that in Turkey I don't have that much information because I apply for my own university only. But I read the review from the other who apply the scholarship for the Turkish government scholarship. They say it's very easy. So take the note on that. If there is the opportunity, leverage it. So just go to the website and have a check on that. Like I mentioned before, right? The deadline is 28th of that. And the other thing that you need to be mindful, like for example, for the Turkey government and Vietnam government, right? They have some agreement, like okay, this time I have the quota for Vietnamese students. So you need to check that not only New Zealand or Turkey, you need to check the other country, how many quota they have for the Malaysian. For example, for Turkey, maybe at this moment, the government office, the government, they may consider more for the student from the African countries, something like that, because of, I don't know, maybe politics or something. But we need to understand one point: the quota they set for each country is different. If you apply for the government office, if you apply for the university, I think apply the scholarship. It costs you nothing, but it's great opportunity, because to me, the way you apply is the way that you gain your own experience already. The way you key in the information in the scholarship application, you learn a lot from there. You learn that how they expect from the candidate to offer the scholarship. So it costs you nothing. Why not you try? And you will understand, oh, I'm still lacking of this scholarship. They asked me to explain to them that how much experience have, or even personal statement, what would you like, something like that. The more you research, so more you have idea. And at that time, you not only apply one scholarship. To me, apply as much as possible, because you just on the scholarship they have something like a similar requirement, right? Just some scholarship they have specific. So the more you do, the more you have information and you research on it. Hope is have everyone to have just open their application, key in, and you have the idea how it look like.
Yes, like quickly grab the opportunity to apply the scholarship before the end of February, right?
Yeah, I think they have the website on just Google. I think the Turkish government scholarship.
Okay, all right. We will definitely Google the scholarship deadline in Turkey. All right, thank you so much, Lee, for providing all of your sharing in studying Turkey, as well as a little bit about your experiences working in Malaysia. I really enjoyed this session, as I also learned a lot, because I never been to Turkey before, so it's quite amazing to be able to hear people experiences about how you study at there, and the challenges, as well as the perks of studying abroad. And it makes me feel that I want to study in Turkey as well, because of the I never because of the 4 seasons of weather, have winter. Yeah, so people who wants to play snow, I think can go to Turkey. It's quite near to Malaysia. So I think because our time is running out, we will proceed to the photo taking session. Yeah, I will take a photo so we can post later. All right. Um. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Smile. 1, 2, 3. Smile. All right. So with this, I will end tonight's webinar. So for those who watching out there, please just reach out to UK Language Center if you have any questions about how to study abroad and how do you want to prepare for it, because we will immediately respond to you right away. All right. With that, thank you once again, Lee, for becoming our speaker tonight. I hope that in the future we can invite you for our future program. So,
All right. Definitely. I really love this session tonight. And thank you for offering for invitation. I learn through your question I can learn and I can review as well. For those who watching, today you have 2 contact points, one New Zealand, one for Turkey. If you have any question, feel free to reach out Dejana or QK Language Center. We will definitely share for our own experience if you have any inquiries. Yes. That's what I can do.
All right. Thank you so much, Lee. I think.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everyone. Have a good night.
Bye.